going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we have the 9.1 Orochi boss. So we're going to explain how to fight her, how her abilities work, and the best options for her. Now, before we get into the best options, we have to explain the abilities first. So she is all about healing, and she is immune to heal block, petrify, and specter. She's also immune to stun and bleed, and you can't really cheat that. She has that marked passive on you when you drop below 18%, so no Hercules, Serpent, or Nick Fury. Now, the only way to reduce her healing is by having damaging effects, because she heals 95% of the damage she takes, but you reduce this by minus 5% flat for each one of that damaging effect. But it can only be reduced to a minimum of 50%. So even if you have 40 of those damaging effects on her, she's still going to heal half of that damage you deal. Now, why is this champion dangerous? Because she applies poison and bleed passives on you with all of her attacks. And keep in mind, she has like a full 9-hit combo. I think one of her 5-hit combos is 9 hits because she has double attacks. So you're going to get a ton of those poison or bleeds. So you either want to have someone that's bleed immune, poison immune, or both, or has resistance on one of those or both. Now, it's good to have armor up champions as well, because those debuffs can be inflicted through block. But if you have armor ups, you have a chance to prevent them, because each armor up reduces the chance of the blocked hits inflicting poison and bleed on you by minus 25%. So if you have 4 armor up effects, you're safe. You're safe from blocked hits. You're never going to get bleed or poisons through. So it's good to have those armor up champions. Now, how do we deal damage to this champion? Like I said that she's healing so much, but how do you actually deal damage to her? Well, you need to have 10 damaging effects on her, and then she goes into a different mode, and when you will see that icon, the gray icon, now it becomes yellow. Once this becomes yellow, you want to bait a heavy from her and punish it with a special. And basically, she cannot heal your special attack damage, and for each one of those damaging effects that got consumed, you deal, a lot of that damage. So let's say you use someone that doesn't have too many damaging effects, because Ironheart here, she applies with your medium incinerates. You can throw your relic, or you can intercept. Every time you intercept her and throw your relic, you apply that passive poison on her, which counts for those 10 damaging effects on her. And yeah, it's pretty nice. You can also use a relic. As you can see, for each hit of your relic, you apply a poison. So I would recommend going for the Sentinel relic, or the Green Goblin, I believe, has 3 hits. I know the Vision relic has 2 hits. So, even 1 hit can make the difference depending on the champion you have. So that's basically what you do. You want to apply 10 of those damaging effects. That's why champions like Ironheart, Lady Deathstrike, and Shuri are the best for this fight. There's also Guillotine 299, but because she is like she has busted damage, and yeah, you'll see that after we finish this Ironheart fight. So this champion also has phases. We went through the first phase, which basically is no additional effects. The second phase, which we finished, was she gains an inexorable passive when she throws a heavy. And this is crucial. It only lasts for 1 second on the second phase, so it's not as crucial. But on the third phase, which we just completed, it lasts for 5 seconds. This means you can't really push her back. And the only way to remove this is by punishing your specials with a heavy attack. And you need to do that, because you will get cornered so fast. Like I dexed one of her combos there, and she covered like 50% of the map's distance. So you need to counter that heavy. I recommend baiting special ones only, because it's a ton easier to actually punish with a heavy. Because yeah, if you don't, that 5-second inexorable means you can't push her back. So she is gonna get you in the corner really fast. And if that happens, with all those blocked hits, like the 9-hit combo and the bleed effects, it is pretty dangerous. Now for this phase, which we're just doing, this is the 4th phase. It's just, she has that inexorable passive as well, so you need to punch with a heavy, but she also has unblockable specials. The good thing is we don't really care about that, because you can fully outrange special 1s and special 2s. It's just special 2 is a little bit harder to actually, predict when she's gonna stop doing those swings and then go for the heavy counter. That's why I recommend going for SP1 baits. Now this is the 5th phase, which again, she gets all the previous effects from the previous phases, inexorable and unblockable specials, But she also gains this Fury passive, which doubles her attack basically. So you do not want to get hit here because it's going to hurt a lot. And the last phase, which in my opinion, it's probably the easiest. Here I messed up there. As you can see, something I didn't talk about. If you let this timer, this yellow timer expire, you take degen for each of those damaging effects on her. So it can like fire back at you. And let's say you have 15 of those dot effects and you can't really punish a heavy. Yeah, you're gonna take those degens and they do a lot of damage. It's like 15 degens, and yeah, like I said, for each of those damaging effects, you take degens and there's no way you survive. So make sure before you get her into the 10 damaging effects, you are close to a special. Because if you're not, it can be tricky. You might take that degen, but it lasts for 10 seconds. It never happened to me, but as you saw there, I missed one of my specials and I almost died there. Now for the 6th phase, I was saying that this is probably the easiest one, I would say, because she does not heal. You do not have to do the 10 debuffs and throw specials under her heavies. She doesn't heal. But the difficult part in this phase is that she does not spend any power on her specials. However, attacking during or after the special drains 50% of buff power, which means if you punish with heavy, which is what you should do, you will drain her power, as you will see. Boom, there we go. And also one thing to keep in mind, her first 2 specials are not going to have the inexorable passive, but the next ones will always have that. So you need to punch with a heavy, because she also has that Fury, the unblockable specials, and all that stuff. And one good thing that you can actually use is that she's power locked to 1.9 bars of power. She cannot get to the special 2, and you can utilize that, you know, taking maybe some blocked hits to get easy openings. Because yeah, she becomes really aggressive, and if you don't block, she is most likely going to throw that special attack. But as you can see, we're dealing so much damage there in this phase. You see we're getting cornered. It's because she does not spend any power. But a good thing you can do, like I did here, is save up to a special 3, because that's going to give you a lot of distance, and it does do a lot of damage as well. So yeah, Ironheart is really good for this fight. Probably my second favorite. I got a solo with Ironheart and also a solo with Guillotine 299 because she's so busted with her damage. Let's move to the Guillotine gameplay. Alright, so let's start this from the 3rd phase. With Guillotine, as you can see, I already have a lot of combo hits. And this fight is going to last for 6 minutes. And I have a 7-star rank 1 Guillotine. And I didn't even start with 100 hits. You can start with 100 hits if you finish with a special 3 for the, you know, the previous fights. And this will be a lot faster. Guillotine is just amazing. She has so much damage. She is immune to bleed and poison. Really nice heavy attack to counter that special attack that she does. Those special attacks. And she also has some degen effects, which you could get her to the 10 damaging effects. I'll go bait that special too. So what would be my best options? I think the top 3 best options are Guillotine 2099, Lady Deathstrike, and Ironheart. I think those are the best ones. Now I would maybe add Shuri to the top options as well. I don't really add Shuri to the top options because, you know, it's kind of tough to get those armor up effects so that you are basically preventing the poison and the bleeds. Whereas with Ironheart, you can just do light attacks and you have them. And then Guillotine and Lady Deathstrike, one is immune, one is basically immune with the resistance. And also Shuri, you have to take those blocked hits so you can apply those shocks, and you know that might hurt. You might get those bleed and poisons. But yeah, definitely Guillotine, Ironheart, and Lady Deathstrike my favorites. Some other really good options there, as you saw. I almost messed up, but luckily I had the relic. That's why I want to bait SP1s. So some really good honorable mentions. I would say Onslaught is amazing because you apply those neuroshocks. You apply like 10 from the SP1, and it's, you know, it's so easy to get 10 with just one SP1. And yeah, he also consumes less power, which is really helpful. There is also Scorpion. Scorpion is a good option. There's also, because, you know, Scorpion can go poison immune, can go immune to one of those effects that she applies. And there's also Gore. I think Gore is a good option because every time he gets inflicted with poison or bleed, he gains a regen, which is really, really nice. So I'd say those are my favorite options. I might be missing some good ones, but basically, you know, you can also use, like, let's say Vox. Vox has those damaging effects. He applies a ton of them. He also can get armor ups, but it's only if he gets hit, so that wouldn't be ideal. But basically, man, you can do this fight with whoever. Even if they have no damaging effect, you can just intercept or throw your relics. And it is possible. I would say it's a lot harder once you, like, get into the other phases, because for each phase, she, like, becomes more aggressive and she consumes less power. So yeah, if she doesn't consume a lot of power, she will have specials all the time, which would make it tough to intercept. So that's where you want to have someone with damaging effects. Even like Prowler, Omega Sentinel you can use. There's a lot of champions. But that was the solo with Git in 39.9, and as you can see, it's going to be a 6-minute takedown. So yeah, man, hopefully this was helpful. I think the boss is actually pretty straightforward once you learn how to heavy punish their special 1s or special 2s. Again, recommend punishing the SP 1s because it's just a lot easier. But yeah, man, that is the boss. Hopefully this video helped you guys, and if it did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.